So many people do say that I don't think the way other people think, or I don't reason the way other people reason. But I'm not surprised at that because the situation we have at hand, the situation in Nigeria, you don't supposed to even think the way ordinary people think because there are so many abnormal people in our country, Nigeria. In this video, I want to talk about the permanent voters card. You know, before the presidential election, before the general election in 2023, a lot of people were denied their voters card. They couldn't collect it before the election. Now, please, if people in the diaspora could get their permanent voters card, they came home, they registered, some persons registered online, and they came home, they collected it before the election. I don't see any reason why you at home shouldn't collect your permanent voters card. Supporting a political candidate does not end as supporting the person or canvassing people for the person. It also entails you personally voting for the person you are supporting. Please, whenever the election is close, whenever the heat of election is rising, either gubernatorial, presidential election, anytime election is closed, the opposition or the ruling party will use their power, their political power to make sure that their threats, people who are threats to them, especially the obedience, if they understand where you people are dominated, they will make sure that the permanent voters card will not be distributed in those areas. Let me give you an example. Do you remember what happened in Anambra State, where a hunter saw huge number of permanent voters card in the bush? Who kept the permanent voters card there? Was it not the responsibility of INEC to do this voters card and distribute it to people? Yes, of course. So why is it that the permanent voters card is in the bush? Who kept it there? That is the question Nigerian face to ask, and people have never unraveled the mystery behind the permanent voters card that they kept in the bush in Anambra State. And why was it in Anambra State? Because they were scared that, oh, Anambra State is the state and the home of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. Let us do this so that he will not have huge number of votes. But they are unaware that even their homes, they are going to lose their home. They were fighting on how P2B could lose Anambra State, but their homes like Lagos and other states, they lost it. So what I'm saying in essence is that please do not expect a condition of election to be announced, or maybe they declare a new election or runoff before you begin to run up and down for your permanent voters card. Maybe they will say within 60 days or within 90 days. This is just a month or 2 months. You might not be able to go and collect your permanent voters card. Please make the move while you have time today, especially for people who have registered. Your permanent voters card will be lying there in the INEC office in the district where you have registered. And above all, you know during the election, there are always queue. That is the reason why so many people were frustrated in the way of collecting their permanent voters card. So many people got there, they couldn't wait because they have long queue. If you don't want to experience that, please gently go to the INEC office in your district. Tell them that you want to collect your permanent voters card so that if there is any mistake, you could correct it and do every necessary thing because there is no traffic now. So you can do whatever you want to do. This is just my candid advice for you because nobody knows what is ahead. It's not everything someone should talk, especially when it comes to your own opinion. My own opinion is not the public opinion. If I say the things I am expecting, you yourself will not believe because you don't have the data I have, you don't have the information I have, you don't have things that I am exposed to. So if you don't have your permanent voters card, people who registered that did not collect their voters card is up to 10 million. It's up to 10 million. So if 10 million people did not collect their voters card, do you know how many numbers we are talking about? You know, the person I declared as president, even though he did not win legitimately, that is why we are in the court, he don't have that number of votes up to 10 million. 10 million people has not collected their permanent voters card. Please do yourself a favor so that if there is anybody you are supporting, our struggles will not just be by the words. Just imagine how difficult it was for me to collect my permanent voters card. It was difficult because I lost the very first one. And I was not at home when the registration, everything was going on for the second time. But I needed to have it. So I have to make calls to my INEC office in my district. So they advised me that I should fill the form online that I lost it. I did it. I got the photocopy. So when I got home, I have to go to their district and I collected it. Please go and collect your permanent voters card. It is crucial. If you don't do it now, few months to come, you will start running after it because it will be very important to you few months to come. So I'm not saying anything more than that, but it is very important. Please, 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 I beg you, in the name of God, go and collect your permanent voter's card because you can't tell what is about to happen. So that is apart. Secondly, for those who are saying, because I received so many messages in the last video I did, that was in the last 4 months when I was talking about go and collect your PVCs. So many people were telling me, come on, Okocha, if we vote, our vote is not being counted. We are discouraged. Come on, please, for the last time, our vote was counted. Even though, yes, we believe and we know there is evidence for it. They rigged the election against so many people, the majority, who voted for a particular candidate. The election was rigged. There were voter suppression. The will of people were manipulated through threats to life and so many other things. Yes, there is no doubt about that. We know. But what we are saying is that the election, there was a change because there was a political revolution in the 2023 general election. Imagine people who lost elections. Imagine, let me tell you, PDP has never won in Lagos State since 1999. But for Labour Party to win Lagos State, that is to tell you that after the whole rigging, there is nothing anyone could do. Labour Party won Lagos State. That is to tell you that once people are determined to do something, there is no force that will stop you. Like my own state where I came from, that is Delta State. PDP is the ruling party and there is nobody that could challenge the status quo right from time. But in the presidential election, the Labour Party won, even though PDP is still dominant in the state, and there is no two ways about that. PDP is there to stay. But when it comes to the presidential election, because people were resolute, they were voting for a particular candidate, not just the political party. So, if you are saying that your vote has not been counted, this or that, please, I want you to rethink. Your vote counted, and that is why the tension is in Nigeria now. That is why we can even come out to say, so person won the election. If you did not vote, if we do not support a particular candidate, we cannot come out to say that this election was rigged. We cannot produce so many senators, so many House of Reps, governor, and so on and so forth, even though the election was rigged. The truth is this. The political situation we have in Nigeria now will not go once. Other countries could be using coup, like Mali. You saw what happened, or you've heard what happened in Niger Republic recently, where the military took over the government. But in Nigeria, there have been political coup, but there is no problem about that. We are going to dismantle the political coup. Because when we are resolute, when we come together in one thought, when we have one ideology, it's not all about P2B. As I do tell people, obedient movement is greater than P2B, but because even P2B cannot stop obedient movement. This is an idea whose time has come. It is time for the youth to arise. Get your PVC and do not say that your vote is not counting. Your vote will not be counted. The most important thing, again, you should know is that we are expecting the judgment from the court. We have seen the judgment from Supreme Court that the irrelevant electronic transmission of result is paramount. In the case of Adeleke and Ayatollah, we are just waiting for this appeal court to have their judgment. Judicial precedent is like law in Nigeria. That is what people follow. If after the court processes and the court affirm that INEC should be uploading results from polling unit in real time, let me tell you, you yourself can come out election, convince people, campaign, and you will win without knowing anybody. This is a game changer. This is the electoral law of 2022. So if anybody at all could come out to campaign and people, you could just win election if the court will affirm what this law says. And that is why we are patient waiting. Because people don't really understand the Electoral Act of 2022, why so many people now have the enthusiasm to be participating in politics. Nigerian politics that people have said it has died, that we are no more interested again. But we have seen hope, we have seen reason to start participating. Because when the court will now affirm what the electoral law says and mandate INEC always to be uploading in a real time the election result, I'm talking about from EC8A. So when they upload it directly from the polling unit, no problem. Anybody who wants to rig the election should go other places and rig the election. The one they uploaded to the IREF will just be the original result. That is what the Supreme Court said in the case of Adeleke. So that is what we are expecting, and we are watching judiciary as people hashtag all eyes on the judiciary. So that is what we are waiting. And I believe you at the end, this victory for our country, Nigeria, this victory for our democracy will be a joyful thing for everybody, especially me, myself, because it has been awaiting. I've been waiting for such thing to happen in Nigeria so that we will start a political revolution in Nigeria with all our heart. Because we are still watching, when we continue to do this, what will the judiciary say? Does these people have a loophole where they can counter us ahead? We are just thinking, calculating. But at the end, believe me, all things will work together because we only want what is right, not what is bad for our country. There is nothing like you having a good country, and that is why we will never give up on a new Nigeria. Thank you so much for having time to listen to this video, but don't forget the purpose of this video. Go and get your PVCs. Thank you.